Hey there gamers, welcome back to our channel. I'm Neuromancer and today in this two-part series, we are counting down the 20 upcoming most anticipated games in the second half of 23. Get ready to mark your calendars because these titles will rock the gaming world. Let's dive right in. In a plethora of Souls-like games releasing in 2023, Remnant 2 is yet another game that uses the Souls-like formula but with a twist. This is basically Dark Souls but with guns. And there is a huge list ranging from assault rifles, shotguns, pistols and long guns. The co-op mechanics in the game will be far more polished than the previous one, and based upon the player feedback, the ambience had been made more vibrant, filled with warm colors, and now you will be able to jump across gaps. The gunplay has been made more tighter, and the game will now feature more intense boss fights. Remnant 2 is releasing this year, 25th July. Well, finally, Telltale Games is making a huge comeback, this time with an episodic series based upon The Expanse the show. So this show premiered in 2015 and has gained a dedicated fan base for its compelling narrative, intricate world building and realistic depiction of space travel. The series follows a wide range of characters, including a detective, a ship's captain, a United Nations official and a rebel leader, as they navigate the political tensions and mysteries that arise in this complex and volatile system. In terms of gameplay changes to convey the vastness of space, the developers factored in things like gravity, floating in zero-G, walking on walls, and new ways to navigate open up exploration unlike old games. The Expanse, a Telltale series, is releasing on all platforms on 26 July 23, but on PC, it will be an Epic Game Store timed exclusive. Well, where do we begin with Baldur's Gate 3? The game has been on early access and is making a lot of news lately, including the fact that you can actually romance Halsin, the druid, while he is transformed into a bear. But jokes apart, the game looks pretty impressive. From its split-screen co-op, new level caps, more races and subclasses like the rumored Dragonborn and half-orcs, additional branching narratives, more spells and more body types. Taking place in the Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms, Baldur's Gate 3 is a party-based roleplay game with a focus on player choice and consequences. It combines deep storytelling, exploration and tactical turn-based combat and is releasing on August the 3rd. Heavily inspired by the 70s slasher movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the video game is an asymmetrical multiplayer horror experience. So, here there can be a total of 7 players divided into 2 groups. 4 players can play the role of victims on one team and 3 players will hunt them down and play as the family, cannibals, in rural Texas. The setting will be similar to the iconic isolated farmhouse, which is an eerie location with low lighting and gritty cinematography. You as victims need to escape and survive the onslaught by the family, and on the other hand, if playing as a family, you need to stop the victims however possible. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is releasing on 18th August. Immortals of Avium is an EA original fast-paced first-person but without guns. Instead, it's played with magic. You play as Jack, a spellcaster who wields a sigil that focuses magic into 3 different colored spells: red, blue and green. Red sigil works like your typical shotgun, best for close range and close quarter combat. Blue sigil are powerful bolts for long range combat similar to an assault rifle, while green sigil will project rapid fire homing projectiles. Then you have fury spells that are more powerful special spells. Augment spells are used for environmental based puzzles like moving objects and exploring. And the game is running on Unreal Engine 5 and looks pretty good. Immortals of Avium is releasing on next-gen consoles and for the PC on 22nd August. Blasphemous 2 is the sequel to the critically acclaimed 2D action platformer. This time, it is back with more striking gothic architecture, gruesome character designs, challenging side-scrolling Souls-like gameplay, tougher enemies, and more boss encounters. Be ready to delve into Custodio's game world with dark secret, grotesque creatures, and this time around the game will feature 3 unique weapons, an enhanced skill set and an expanded moveset. Blasphemous 2 is releasing on August 24th. And now we are dealing with the major releases of this year. Even before From Software became popular for their immensely famous Dark Souls series, Sekiro and now Elden Ring, they were making mech games for the Armored Core series. And the series has a dedicated fan base with over 13 video games spanning 16 years. It's been more than 10 years since the last Armored Core game, and the announcement of Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon at the Games Award was really well timed, while Elden Ring won the Game of the Year award last year. Armored Core games are loved, adored, and respected by the fans for the deep, extensive mech customization system, the tactical gameplay while players need to be carefully strategizing their mech's loadout, the absolutely immensely intense and immersive robotic combat mechanics, the almost flawless PvP and PvE modes, and their futuristic dystopian world often revolving around a struggle for control and resources, which is filled with intriguing lore should you proceed to uncover them. The gameplay presentation showed the heightened sense of verticality where players can fly and jump and use vertical catapults too, and snippets of over-the-top boss fighters were also there. Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon is releasing on 25th August. Starfield is Bethesda's next anticipated magnum opus, a highly ambitious new IP. This is set in a futuristic space environment, allowing players to explore an entire galaxy, and Todd Howard revealed that there will be 1,000 planets and 100 systems to explore and survey. Starfield will use a creation engine too, and the visuals are definitely an upgrade with ID Software, helping Bethesda in Starfield's development phase. You can study animal life on these planets and mine resources while on foot. From the latest gameplay trailer reveal, I noticed we can carry 4 weapons, unlock weapon cases via digipicks, shoot the gravity-sustaining backpacks of enemies and set them flying into the sky. Also, based upon the gravitational pull of the planet, you will be able to make huge leaps and jumps across the wide gaps. The game will also feature possibly the most detailed character creation mechanics in the Bethesda game so far, a deep crafting system as well. And the combat feels good, like the feel of the weapon, the reload mechanics, and you can build your own outposts for resource generation, hire NPCs to keep them up and running. Then you can build your own spaceships, like you can select your crew members, customize the entire spaceship as per your preference, and partake in space battles too. Starfield is definitely one of the games that we are really excited about, and it's releasing on 6th September. And now we finally arrive at today's last game for the video. Lies of Pi is heavily inspired by From Software's Bloodborne, and yet another game that utilizes the Souls formula. Here you control a humanoid named Pinocchio and will be fighting against biomechanical enemies. The protagonist will be equipped with prosthetic arm attachments reminiscent of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice as well. So you can swap out your left arm and equip attachments like flamethrowers, blast arms, a cannon-like shotgun, and electrocutors. The setting is a steampunk-based ambience in the late 1800s. You will be able to combine blades and handles and create some unique canes, great swords, and rapiers with unique properties. Lies of Pi is releasing on 19th September later this year. That wraps up the first part of a 2-part series on the most anticipated games. We have covered the upcoming first 10 out of 20 games in order of the release, and the excitement is already building up. Join us in the next episode as we reveal the remaining 10 games that gamers everywhere are eagerly anticipating and waiting. Until then, stay tuned, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and keep gaming and keep gossiping.